Hey everyone, this is Craig. So I'm going to demo the enable root on a PXC cluster. So I have a cluster here with 3 nodes in it, and then you can see the Nova instances as well. So I can see all the IPs right there. So first I will show that. Let's see all the root calls. So we have root enable and root show. So if we do a root show on the cluster name there, so it's test, we can see that the root enable is not enabled at that point. We can also actually look at one of the instances, member one. We'll check member one here for root enable. Close these real quick. So you can see that it doesn't find the instance by the name here because it's part of a cluster. But if we actually use the ID, we do get back the information, and you can see all of these have a similar callback to that. So they all show back as root is not enabled. So then from there we can say, let's root enable this. So we send a root enable on that, and we actually get back a root password here. So let's actually go back and let's call these others again, root show for test, and we see it is enabled. And then let's go back to one of the instances, and we see that instance is enabled. Let's check one of the other instances, 48 there, and we see that one's actually enabled too. So we see all the instances are enabled. We also see that the whole cluster shows that it's enabled. So let's actually try to connect to that to 0.3 user root, and then we'll copy this password. Oh, I screwed that up, -p with the password, and we see that we can connect to it, databases. So we can see that. Well, let's actually, since this is a cluster, there's multiple instances in it. Hey, we can connect to all of them, right? So we're able to connect to all to .4, 3, and 2, right? So we're actually able to connect to all 3 instances in that cluster. So if we do, let's look at the whole cluster there so we can see a little bit info on that. So we see 2, 3, and 4, and I connected to each one of those. The other thing here is that we can, with the root enable, we can actually pass in a root password, and we can call this my password, is what my password I want to set this as, right? So for the cluster, we can set a new root password, and we can set it as my password. So now whenever we go to connect to this, we can use my password instead, and we can connect. Same kind of deal, right? Pretty cool. I think that kind of is the overview here. So we have root enable for that, and it works. So then I also have the root enable spec here. It's filled out. We have a couple comments I need to reply on this that happened this morning, and then we have the root enable Percona cluster data store, which is the actual code of the spec. So it's all here. So thanks, and if you have any questions on this, let me know via email or something, and we can get in contact about that. Thanks.